persuasion and marketing and sales. I learned this from Ty Lopez's program that I kind of bought not too long ago. And this is what I learned. I really wanted to share this framework with everybody because not everybody is aware of how they talk, right? Let's just imagine your kid is telling a joke, but they whisper the punchline, right? And they do it too early while they are looking down on the floor or staring at their shoes. I mean, you might be chuckling because not because the joke was funny, but because they forgot those three T's, right? That makes your communication powerful. It's the tone, the timing, and the tact, right? This is how I learn things. I learn to internalize them by figuring out how to teach it. But more importantly, I want to teach it back to my kids because it's so important. You have to understand how to teach it so that you can master it. But really, on top of that, I think the ability to communicate is going to be more important than ever in the future. In a world where everything's getting more digitized, learn how to connect with people in person, that's going to be a valuable skill set that's going to be hard to find. And that's what we're going to learn today, right? I don't want to just talk about how to speak, but really how to connect through the three T's, right? The way you say something matters maybe more than what you say, to be honest with you, depending on the situation. And that's what I call the three T's, right? These are the three T's of influence. And once you master them, you can connect with folks, you can inspire action, and you can build the trust so you can create a message that will resonate. So let's get into it. Let's start with the first one, T. T is for tone, right? That tone sets the whole vibe of the conversation. When you start off, even the most basic question, right? Say, hey, you might go to someone and say, hey, how are you? Or you might say, hey, how are you? Right? When you have a little bit more of a concern tone, people don't listen to the words you say, they listen to how you say it and how you say it, right? Whether that's an excited tone, a curious tone, a concerned tone, or maybe even a confused tone, that can be the difference between someone putting their guard up against you, giving you an autopilot response, or being genuinely excited to talk with you because they like your energy, right? It's like even the most simplest thing, and I'm coming with different analogies so that even my daughter and my kids can understand it. Is because let's just take something really easy like music, right? If you sing "Happy Birthday," but you sing it in a very spooky whisper, it might it's not happy. It's weird. You want to say "Happy Birthday to you." Why? Why would you do that? It's weird. But if you sing it with joy, claps, and a smile, everybody joins in. It's fun. So when you speak to your team, your kids, other adults, your tone should match the message and your intent, right? Don't say, this is urgent in a bored voice, right? You can say, this is urgent, right? Or don't say, everything's fine, right? When you say everything fine in an anxious voice, that doesn't match. And the person listening to you is going to subliminally think, what's going on here? And if they don't trust your tone, they're not going to trust you. And you can't connect with someone that does not trust you, right? T is for timing, right? Timing is just when you say it, right? Even the right word at the wrong moment, that can fall flat. And I also like to talk about the pause here. And this was what really helped me out. If you notice how a ton of people talk, they say, like, sometimes when you say you talk like this, and hey, I don't really know what to say, and I'm really sorry about that, and I, you know, um, it's just like, you can have three three knows before you get to the point. When in reality, if you learn to just pause, this really helped me, especially for my podcast when I have conversations. I realized that I cannot help anybody if I don't pause. because they can never catch up and internalize the message that I have for them or the message I have for them from the guests. And then I'm not helping anybody. And I realized that I used to fill the silence with because you get so nervous, you don't get comfortable in the silence. And learning to pause is probably one of the most effective ways for you to communicate in the future. Even if you are having a bad day, even if someone is trying to insult you, if you just take a breath, a conversational breath, before what they someone, let's say someone calls you a name and you go, did you really mean that? Or you can say, I need you to repeat that one more time so I can hear what type of person you are. Oh, now it's different when you pause, right? When you don't say, hey, I need you to say that one more time. So very different, right? I need you to say that one more time so that I can hear what type of person you are. Or you say, I need you to say that one more time so I can know what type of person you are. Very, very different. Timing, the tone, right? It's almost like if you're trying to tell a joke when someone's crying. Sometimes it works, but sometimes even if it's a good joke, it might feel off, especially sometimes it's too early, too late. And this is the same thing, right? Knowing when to talk, when to pause, when to let others speak and finish their thoughts, to be respectful. It's so important, right? If someone's stressed, don't try to dump more data on them. Don't try to show them more numbers and overwhelm them, right? Maybe you wait until they're excited. Then that's your introduction, your window to introduce your solution, your project, right? Great communicators. They read the room. They respect the moment. And more importantly, they respect the other folks in the room so they can meet them where they are. Not trying to rush anything. All right. Fine. T. T is for tact. It's the emotional intelligence in action, right? It's how carefully you speak, especially when things get a little sensitive, right? It's choosing the right words for their heart, not your head. Sometimes you got to be gentle. Sometimes you got to put some pressure on folks, right? Instead of saying this idea won't work, maybe you try saying, hey, I like where you're going with this, and you repeat their solution. I can see that you're trying to solve for this problem. Can I offer a twist I learned that might help us get to the same goal faster? Right? People don't want to listen to a know-it-all. When you start by saying, "Hey, this is what I learned," then you are acting with the intent to teach instead of acting with the intent to brag. Very, very different, right? And this skill will probably help you build trust much faster than any cold hard fact alone could ever do. So this is why I wanted to pass this on, right? Teach your kids that the tone is their superpower. Show them how to be kind. Show them how to love on one another. Thank them when they're being kind, right? Knowing when to speak, when to listen, it's huge. And you, as a parent, have to teach that. And more importantly, you have to exemplify that because things are caught, they're not taught. I learned that from, I think, Ed Milet. Things are caught, they're not taught. So your kids are looking at you every single day as a parent. So be an example that you want to see. And tact, just be kind. Speak with the intent to connect with that person, not to prove you're right. And I think that'll get you so much further than anybody else, right? So next time you go forward, ask yourself: is the tone right for the audience? Right? Ask yourself: is now the time to speak, or maybe it's time to ask another question? And then think out to yourself, like, how can I ask this differently so I can build trust and build up the other person that's next to me, and make it collaborative, make it a partnership instead of being more divisive, right? Kind of heard about this story. Right, there was a girl at a science fair, and she had this amazing project. Right, she built a volcano with lights, smoke, sound effects. But when the science during the science contest, when the judges came by, she kind of mumbled. She looked away. Uh, she spoke too fast because she was mumbling. So they walked by past the table because their ears were closed, even though they might have been there physically. But then her teacher or her parents said, "Hey, let's fix your tone. You got this. You know what you're doing. Because look at this beautiful thing you created." And then if I was the parent, I would have just drawn a line. I would have put a piece of tape line. I said, "Hey, when you walk past that line, when you cross that line, you're the world's best presenter. Have her close her eyes, walk past, slow your timing, and tell your story to connect." Then she tried it again, and this time they stopped. They smiled. They listened. That girl won first place. That could be the difference between winning first place and not placing, simply because you can follow the three T's. And again, I'm looking for better stories. If you ever met a kid that went through that process and learned how to deliver it better and learn from their lessons on how to speak, oh, because that's such a great example of showing how that message, right? That vision, if whatever mission you care about, whatever values that you have that you want to impose, not impose, but share with the world, right? They matter, but you want people to feel them. Match your words with that tone. Say at the right time with the right speed. Because when you master this, you're not going to just get more yeses. You become someone that other people trust, someone they want to support, someone they want to follow, and more importantly, someone your children will learn from for the rest of their lives. Hope this was helpful for everybody. And again, I'm doing this because I have this sense of urgency to teach everything that I've learned as quickly as possible, because every day is not guaranteed for us. And I love my kids so much. This is why I do it, because I want to equip them with the most knowledge, the best knowledge, so that they can make an impact on the world. I love my family so much, and I know you all do, because that's just why you listen to it. You want to be an example, you want to make an impact, you want to help so many people. So go out there, share what you learned today. Just help one person. That's it. Just focus on helping one person every single day, and you'll be amazed by how much your life changes in 1,000 days. You have 1,000 more friends. All right. Have an amazing Thursday, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 581. I appreciate you all so much for always supporting the Affordable Housing Podcast. Without people like you, I would never have the home I grew up in. So I'm so grateful for all your support. Thank you for tuning into the live for the past 580 days. I don't think I thought I would have gone live for 580 days, to be honest, when I started. But when you realize you're doing it for somebody else, you keep going. So I'm going to do it for another day. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 581. Have a good one, everybody.